How's it going, guys? Bibi here, and this is my first impressions video for the winter season of 2017. So I kind of overloaded myself with series this season. I've got 14 series that I've decided to watch. So I'm putting all my first impressions into this one video. I've only watched the first episodes of all these series, so these are my first impressions of episode 1. I won't be going into too much detail when it comes to Akiba's trip because I've already made a video on that, but I do have one or two things that I wanted to actually add in, so there'll only be a little bit of information about Akiba's trip. So with all that said and done, let's get into what I thought of these 14 series and what I'm going to be watching. Out of these 14 series, I actually do have some that I'm dropping, so we'll get into this pretty quickly. I don't want to spend too much time. Starting with Nyanko Days. Nyanko Days is a 2-minute short series that's going to be 12 episodes long. It's cute, but I cannot be bothered sitting down and watching a series that's 2 minutes long. It's about a girl that doesn't have any friends in her class. She doesn't really get along with people. She goes home and she sees that there's some kittens that she owns there, and she really loves them, and pretty much it's just showing off the kittens. The thing is that the series isn't even really 2 minutes long because they've got an opening segment and an ending segment, so I mean the ending segment was pretty cute, but I'm not going to be watching it. One episode was enough. Next up is Marginal 4. This is a Boydle series, and I know you would think that it's right up my alley, but it didn't really catch my attention. I found it rather boring. It's a bit more of a slice of life Boydle series, and I mean the animations are nice, but it's nothing special, so I'm not going to bother with it. Lastly is a series that I'm kind of thinking of dropping, but I might actually give it to episode 2 just to see if it changes, is Kimono Friends. So the promo picture looks like it's normally animated. The thing is that it's not. It's hideous 3D CG, like it's eye cancer, and it is terrible. There's clipping and it just, it is harsh on the eyes, I tell you. It's a kiddie series, it looks like, too, so there's all these kind of animals of the day mid-segments where they tell you about a certain animal that you meet that day, and I mean it is cute, but it's really a child's program and I can't really be bothered with it. But I thought I will give it to at least episode 2 just to see if it's going to get a little bit more grown up. If it's the same as episode 1, then yeah, it's definitely being dropped. Next up is the series that I'm giving to episode 3. So these are the series that I'm kind of unsure about. So I'm like, I'm not going to give it to episode 6, I'll give it to episode 3. If it still doesn't catch my interest, then I'm dropping it. So with that, the first one is actually Akiba's trip. I know I said in the previous video that I really enjoyed it, but now that I think back to it, I mean yes I did enjoy it, but I'm not sure if I actually want to watch all the way. It does seem interesting, but it feels like it could become a bit same. It could become a bit monotonous with the jokes. They may fall flat. So I'm going to give it to episode 3 and just see if it gets any better or if it gets worse. I hope it doesn't get worse because I am kind of interested in it, but if it gets worse, I'm dropping it after episode 3. Another one that I'm giving to episode 3 is Siren. This was a series that didn't really have a description on my anime list for a very long time, so I had no idea what it was about. And it's a rather weird series. Episode 1 ended on a really weird note, and I was kind of hoping that it was going to turn into a bit of a horror, because that's kind of the feeling that I was getting partway through, but in the end I was just like, nope, it's going to be this chick is falling in love with you, and it actually might end up becoming a bit of a harem. I hope not, because I mean this season in general, winter season, feels very full of comedy, which is great. The ones that I am watching, which I'll get into later, are really good and really enjoyable and really funny, but some of them I'm pretty sure they're going to not really work very well, to tell you the truth, and that's what I'm getting with Siren. So I'm not sure about it. That's why I'm going to give it to episode 3. The animations were pretty and it seemed like an okay series, but it wasn't drawing me in as much as a lot of the other series that I've been watching. Next is Minami Kamakura High School Cycling Club. That is a really long name, first off. Jesus Christ. So obviously this is a sports anime. It's a girl cycling high school club. A lot along the lines of the cycling ones that were in last season. It was cute. The animations again were really pretty and it was reasonably nice to watch, but I mean, I'm not a huge sports fan in general, and this one didn't really pique my interest. It was cute. It started off with the chick not actually knowing how to ride a bike, or she forgot how to ride a bike, and so the first friend that she meets on the first day of high school helped her learn how to ride a bike again. But they didn't even get into the whole cycling club aspect in the first episode, so I guess we'll just have to wait until episode 2. So yeah, I mean, it being a sports anime and all, I'm gonna give it a couple more episodes just to kind of pick up, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be dropping this one. Last up in the series that I'm giving to episode 3 is Kuzo no Honkai. So this one's interesting. It's a romance series and it's got 3D animations, so it's all done in 3D, and the animations are actually really nice. It's really different, and yeah, you can tell that it's CG, but it's definitely out of my comfort zone because I'm not a huge fan of CG anime series in general. This one feels very slow. The whole premise of this series is really interesting. It's about 2 people that are dating, but they don't actually have feelings for each other. They have feelings for other people. The whole thing with them being together is pretty much they're being replacements for the other person. So they're like imagining that they're with the person that they actually want to be with, where they're actually just screwing this other person that's their age. So yeah, it is really interesting, but I feel it can really get slow, and it could also get very same. I hope it gets deeper and I hope it gets better, but if it keeps at this pace and it's still kind of like, oh, I want to be with this person but I can't, you know, they're in love with this person and I don't actually love you, oh, you probably love me now. I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm into watching the rest of the series. Now onto the series that I actually plan to watch all the way through. I have 6 on this list, so let's get into this, starting with Fuka. So first off, I must say that Fuka is a right bitch. Like, she is one of those characters where you either love her or hate her, and at the moment, I mean, I hated her at the beginning. I was just like, wow, you're an asshole. But towards the end I was like, oh yeah, okay, I could see myself getting into this character. It's going to be a bit of a slice of life romance series, and again, I hope that doesn't turn into some sort of harem, because god, like, I don't mind harems, but I really can't be bothered with them this season. It was an interesting first episode. I enjoyed it. Apparently it's a sequel to another series. I can't remember what that series is now. Who was it? Art of Anime, I think it was, did a video on the whole Fuka and the previous series, and he was talking about the previous series. That was a good watch, so make sure to go and check that out. I'm pretty sure it was Art of Anime. If I'm wrong, I'll make sure to sort that out now, but yeah, go check that out. But I found it interesting to find out that this is actually a sequel, so I didn't know that. So I might have to actually go back and watch the sequel. You don't actually have to watch the sequel though to watch this series. They just kind of loosely tie in, it looks like. But I did enjoy Fuka, and I'm going to continue watching it. The next one is one that just reminds me of K-On! Is Bang Dream. It's a music high school series, and the animations is just adorable. I absolutely love it. The music sounds pretty good already, and it was actually rather funny, so I'm really interested in watching this one. The thing with this series though is that it started a lot later than everything else. It only has 2 episodes out, and everything else has about 4 or 5, so when it comes to my end final thoughts video, I either might have to do that by itself, or I might have to push this whole video back a week or two so then I can add it in if I do end up finishing it all. Because you never know, I may decide, oh, I don't like this anymore by like halfway and drop it. But from what I see so far, it looks like an interesting watch. I've been really pumped to watch this series. It really did just look like a K-On! Series even from the poster, so I hope it's going to be a good watch. Ms. Kotobukiya's Dragon Maid was a series that I actually initially didn't decide to watch first off. I didn't have it in my plan to watch list on my anime list, but then I saw the poster of it and I was like, oh, I might as well give it a shot. And my god, it is just bloody hilarious. I absolutely love it and I'm so glad that I picked it up. Once again, it's got stellar animations, the humour is amazing. I pissed myself laughing all the way through that first episode, and that's just with one episode. So I can see that this one is going to be a really, really good watch, and I could also see it being a top anime series for 2017 because I'm already loving the first episode. The thing that I actually love the most about it is the dragon herself. She is just too adorable. She is trying her hardest to help her master, and the fact that she doesn't really know how to human. I know that's really bad English, but that's exactly what I mean. She doesn't know how to be a human. She doesn't know how to human. You know, so she's learning all this stuff about how to be a maid when she's been a dragon all her life. So either way, it's bloody adorable, and I highly suggest you go watch this one if you haven't already. Next up is Interviews with Monster Girls. This series I actually decided to watch because of a really strange reason. I saw a figure of one of the girls, she's a vampire, and I thought that the characters were really cute. And so I was like, oh yeah, I wonder what that's from. And I found out that there was a series starting up this season. So I was like, hell, why not? I already like what the characters look like, so I might as well check it out. And I'm really happy. I'm glad that I checked this one out. It's kind of got the same kind of Rosio vampire feel, but a lot more innocent. It's not the whole harem type thing. Instead, it's this teacher learning about demis, is what they're called, and learning about what they're like, what vampires and what succubuses are like. And it's a world where humans actually know that these monsters exist. So I absolutely love it. I enjoyed the first season of Rosio Vampire, just ignore the second season. The second season doesn't exist. But yeah, it just gives me that vibe. And the thing is that I actually like this series more than Rosio Vampire. So I'm looking forward to watching this in a dub because it is getting a dub. If you watched my most recent anime news, you'll know that I went and mentioned that in there. If you haven't seen it, go check it out now. But yeah, I'm going to be watching this one all the way through. A series that I really enjoyed the first episode of, and I really hope that it doesn't get bad, is Masamune's Revenge. This is about a teenage boy that when he was a kid, he was fat, and there was this chick that he was in love with. He went and confessed his love, and she outright rejected him, calling him like a pig's foot, and was like, I could never love you. And so he kind of held those scars, and then one fateful day he runs into her and finds out a few secrets about her. And so now he wants to get his revenge on her. And it was a really good watch. She is bloody brutal. She is the typical tsundere, so you know, there's that. I'm not a huge fan of the tsundere character type, but I hope that she can grow on me a bit. He is bloody fine. Like, you see him with his top off and it's just like, yes, you are bloody sexy. So, you know, no wonder you're being pretty vain and checking yourself out in the mirror. It was a really, really good first episode. It was hilarious, and I'm looking forward to watching the rest. I just really hope that doesn't go downhill, because I could see it, once again, turning into a harem. and that seems to be a lot of my worries from this season, the series turning into a harem. If it does turn into a harem, I hope that they do it well and it doesn't become cliche. As it is, the series is based in a high school setting, so, you know, normal slice of life thing. It's just kind of got that unique idea of this guy getting his revenge on this chick. So that's really what's pulling me into wanting to watch this series. So yeah, let's hope that it doesn't get bad. Lastly is Gabriel Dropout. This is about an angel that was all pure and lovely, and then she went to Earth and she became a right slob and an otaku and a shut-in and kept skipping class. Like, she's a high school student, but she can't be asked with that. The other funny thing about this series is that there's a demon that's her best friend and she acts more like an angel. So they're kind of like, there's an angel and a demon, but the angel acts like a demon and the demon acts like an angel. So I found this series really funny. The animations are just adorable. I absolutely love the angel, how she looks. She is a little bit of a tsundere, but she's not over the top, so it's okay. I am really looking forward to watching the rest of this one. I absolutely love it, and I highly suggest anyone go and check it out if you haven't already. So that's all the series that I'm watching this season. There is a bloody lot of them. Let me know in the comments below what you're watching, if you're watching any of these. Let me know if you've dropped any and what ones you're actually looking forward to watching the rest of. And are there any series that you think I should be watching? Not that I'm going to be taking them up because I've already got a bucket load of stuff to watch, but I may check it out after the fact of doing this seasonal thing. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big like and share it out to all your friends. I'd really appreciate it. If you're new around here, please go check out the rest of my channel. I do anime news, anime figure reviews, and anime recommendations, so there's plenty of anime content on there for you to watch. I'm pretty sure you won't get bored. If you want to see what I've been up to, I'm on social media. I've got a Twitter and a Facebook, and I'm online constantly, so make sure to come like and follow me on there. And if you want to see more from me and more videos like this, then please make sure to subscribe for a wide range of anime content. From Moe Jamaica, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!